Hello and welcome to Hockey Talkie. My name is Clay. Welcome to the channel if you've never been. The entry level draft is just days away and I am here to tell you just who the Blackhawks are going to be picking with the third overall pick. But before I do that, I need to make a very special shout out here. Camden Rose has become the latest Patreon superfan of this channel. It's one thing to support someone or a channel by watching videos, by liking, commenting, subscribing, doing all those wonderful things. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate just those things. But it's one thing to do that, and it's another thing to make the jump to support a channel or a creator like myself monetarily. That's just awesome to me. I cannot thank you enough, Camden, for making that jump. Seriously, it really makes me feel like I'm doing something right, and it motivates me to create better content and more content that people enjoy. So thank you so much, Camden. If anyone else is possibly interested in becoming a super fan of this channel, there is a link to my Patreon page down in the description of this channel. Take a look, no pressure, but my goodness, once again, Camden, thank you so much. So with that important piece out of the way, let's take a look at the Blackhawks' number 3 overall pick in this upcoming draft. The Blackhawks' third overall pick is shaping up to be the most important pick in this NHL draft. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Blackhawks fan. It's because that's the way the prospect pool has shaken up for this draft. We know who's going 1 and 2. Jack Hughes, Jakubczak. Whatever order those two go in, doesn't matter. They're going 1 and 2. After that, there's nothing really clear cut. So the Blackhawks at number 3 and the uncertainty of who they're going to pick gives them a bit of control, especially because of how the way the prospect pool has shaken up this year. In the 3 to 10 range, you have a lot of forwards, and a good chunk of them are pretty interchangeable. But you only have one clear-cut defenseman. Bowen Byram, by far and away the best defenseman in this draft. So there's not a whole lot of options for teams who really need or are looking to draft a defenseman high in this draft. So if they want Byram and the Blackhawks don't pick him, they got to be on their feet ready to possibly make a trade up or do something to try and nab him. They could even be doing that with Chicago's pick too, before Chicago even picks. So there's power there for the Blackhawks. It's going to be very exciting to see what happens once the Blackhawks pick. Now, the Blackhawks do have holes to fill in defense. Their defense has been poor at best the last couple of years, and Keith and Seabrook are just not getting any younger. So Blackhawks do need to fix that. Now, the Hawks have made a trade with Pittsburgh to acquire Alimata, but I don't think that trade really changed anything in terms of the plans that the Hawks had for the draft. Because at number 3 overall, you are not drafting by positional need. You are drafting by best player available. So the question is, who is the best player available at number 3? Now, there are a lot of mock drafts out there, a lot of prospect rankings out there, a lot of articles out there by experts, by people who think they know who the third best player available is. And they're trying to sell you on it. And I'm going to tell you a little secret here because nobody is willing to admit it. Nobody knows. Best player available doesn't mean the person who's going to be able to jump into the NHL next year or the earliest. It means who's going to be better 5 years down the road. Who's going to have a better career. And quite frankly, nobody knows that right now. Nobody will know that for another 5 years. And in hindsight, we'll look back and say, oh, why didn't we just pick them? Or, oh, thank goodness we picked him. We'll find out eventually. But for now, all we know is the Blackhawks are going to get a good player. They're going to get an NHLer. Whether or not that person ends up being the third best overall player in this draft, we'll just have to wait and see. So who do I think the Blackhawks are going to pick at number 3 overall? Well, there's a lot of good players. A lot of good choices. Really can't go wrong with any of them. Once again, I don't really think there's a clear-cut third best player available in this draft. So for me, I went back and forth a lot before I finally made a decision. And in the end, I decided to go with history. The last time the entry-level draft was in Vancouver, the Blackhawks had the number 3 overall pick, just like this year. And they drafted a little-known guy out of Winnipeg by the name of Jonathan Toews. The Blackhawks in this draft have a chance to draft their next Jonathan Toews. And personally, I'm going to take that. I think the Blackhawks will be picking Alex Turcotte, hometown boy, going to the University of Wisconsin this upcoming year. Blackhawks fan to boot, just the trifecta in terms of my book. Yeah, I'd love to go and be able to see him over in Madison. It's just a short little jaunt over for me. That's who I think the Blackhawks are going to pick, but once again, I don't know. And I won't know until Friday evening. All I do know is that it's going to be exciting. So, come and join me Friday evening, first round live stream I'll be doing. Should be fun, should be exciting. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on who the Blackhawks are going to pick at number 3 overall, or just how this draft is going to unfold. Let me know down in the comments section below. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that. Once again, Patreon link down below if you're interested. But most importantly, as always, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.